This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by All Star Vacation Homes. And if you're looking for a lot of space, a lot of great amenities, and not a lot of price, there's no beating an All Star Vacation Home. They're going to give you lots of great amenities and for a fraction of the price if you try to get that kind of room at a Disney resort, even if it existed. Check them out online at www.allstarvacationhomes.com.
Bringing the world to your world, this is Walt Disney World Today. Here are Mike Scopa, Len Testa, Mike Newell, and your host, Matt Hochberg.
It's Friday, December 10th, 2010, and this is episode 810 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg of StudioCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Len Testa, co-author of The Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World. And Len, I just heard news that Ben Roethlisberger's nose is now broken. Is this guy, is he trying to be the next $6 million man?
We can rebuild him. We have the technology. Yeah, the amazing thing is his foot was broken and then his nose was broken, and no penalty was called on either play.
Jeez.
But I'm not saying that there's a double standard for the Steelers. You know, it's...
Spoken like a true homer.
Exactly.
Also joining us on today's show is Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. And Mike, Reunion 2010 just ended this past Sunday. And can we go back?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm having such bad post-reunion blues. It's not even funny.
It is bad, and for the behind the scene people who like stuff behind it, this is actually our first episode that we've done since coming back.
You're ruining the magic.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Bad show.
Bad show.
So you're right. It is tough.
This show is declining by degrees.
Speaking of degrees, it's like 20 degrees outside here. It was freezing in.
Yeah, it's been cold in Florida this week. Thank God we didn't have a reunion this week as it normally would have been.
It was pretty cold towards the end of the reunion last week.
Also joins on today's show is the fabulous Annette Owens, a manager of customer relations and group services for MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Welcome back, Annette.
Hey, thanks. I think I've just finally recovered.
But with the reunion being over, we thought we would actually talk about reunion. Well, not so much about the events and stuff. We'll save that for perhaps another show. But we wanted to talk about our experiences and where we stayed, because during the stay we got to try out some different places and some different things, and kind of the logistics of reunion and how the resorts and amenities fared for us. And I want to start actually with Mr. Newell. Mike, you stayed at Wilderness Lodge for the first time.
Yes.
I've stayed there before. A couple times, I think 2 or 3 times. And Len, I'm sure you've stayed at Wilderness Lodge a couple times as well.
Oh, bajillion times, yeah.
Yeah. What's interesting is that you stayed in the regular part of the hotel, not the villas, as you are a DVC owner.
That's correct.
Give us some of your thoughts on staying at the Wilderness Lodge. You were there for a week.
I was there for 8 nights, actually. Could have had a whole Hanukkah there while I was there. 8 crazy nights. Wilderness Lodge is very large. It's very big. I've noticed what I'm used to. I'm so used to Old Key West, where you pull up your car right to your building and you're within 50 steps of being in your room. Whereas at the Wilderness Lodge, I noticed that it can be quite some distance from the public parking lot up to the lobby, and then through the elevators, and then all the way down the hall to your room. It's something I'm not used to. So it was a little, especially the night we came home from the Mouse Fan Challenge, I was toast. And then I had to do all that hike. Towards the end of the day, I was like, oh, it's so far away.
Yeah, but it's bad enough that the parking lot is far away, which a lot of the deluxe resorts suffer from, Boardwalk especially.
I hate the parking lot at the Wilderness Lodge. You have to go down that hill. It's just,
yeah.
The resort was beautiful. It was decked out all nice for Christmas. So the lobby was fantastic. It was gorgeous.
The other problem with the Wilderness Lodge I've also found, I thought this is where you're going to go, but you went with the parking lot angle instead, Mike, it's the endless hallway syndrome, which some resorts suffer from, and Wilderness Lodge is one of them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's a couple banks of elevators that you can take, but there's no easy way to get to the room. I mean, I was at the end of the hall, so you get off the elevator, you have to walk all the way down. Not that it wasn't bad, it just was different to me. It was like a traditional, Hyatt or something like that. It was just a little far off.
Yeah. Well, Len, do you get a lot of complaints from readers to the unofficial guide about the distance, I guess, you have to travel at the Wilderness Lodge?
Not so much for the Wilderness Lodge. The main complaint we get is noise.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, really.
Now, Len brings up a good point, because at 8 o'clock in the morning, without fail, there was some guy outside with the leaf blower.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you notice that?
Every morning.
The every hotel has their thing, right? And depending on where you're at in the hotel, each location might have a different thing. Where I was staying at the All Stars, if I were to, instead of making a left to go to the food court, if I were to make a right and go around the back of the building, I would have got where the buses go to warm up in the morning.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Which means that there are people in those rooms who are listening to buses idle in the in like a spare parking lot at night. But yeah, every hotel has something. I like the Wilderness Lodge though. I mean, with its surroundings is pretty quiet. Did you hear a lot of boat whistle traffic or anything like that?
A little bit. It wasn't terrible, but you know what? I like that. I like hearing that. You know you're near the Magic Kingdom.
Remember last year when we were staying out in the tents and you knew exactly when they started picking up garbage. You knew exactly when they started running the train.
Yeah. So to me, I
And the
kind of
heat
like.
next to you came on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
When Newell flushed the toilet in his camper. All that stuff.
Yeah, when
all
the,
that stuff.
Newell had
when
Mexican
Newell opened
again.
the door and let all the heat out and be like, whew.
Yeah.
Too hot in here?
Somebody started making bacon. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Somebody did start making bacon, though.
Oh, I know.
Newell, speaking, that reminds me, like, those people in New York that have like those apartments, those old time heaters that you can't control the temperature. So in the wintertime, you see them walking around with the windows open and wearing their shorts.
That was me when I lived in the city. Absolutely, yeah. It was totally me.
When I lived in Brooklyn, I had the same problem.
Yeah. You can't complain about too much heat when you live in it. But
Anyway, we're way off topic. But
all in all, I really liked the Wilderness Lodge. The room was really nice. Everything was really, except for the parking. The lobby was, like I said, beautifully decorated. It was really nice. I did enjoy my stay there.
So, Annette, in addition to Newell staying at Wilderness Lodge, you also stayed at Wilderness Lodge. We were talking, about Mike mentioned some of the extreme distances between the rooms and the lobby and then the building and the parking lot. Was this your first time staying at Wilderness Lodge? You stayed there before, right, Annette?
I had stayed in the villas before, not really in the lodge. So,
how did that compare? Talk a little bit about that.
You've never
have
stayed in Wilderness Lodge?
well, I was going to say I have stayed in Wilderness Lodge one other time, but it was more a workroom for the agents where we put together gifts. So I can't compare that to
You never slept there.
this
Yeah,
stay.
okay,
Well, no, I slept there, but I had a whole bunch of florist items around me staring at me while I slept. So, that just doesn't, it's not the same. I would have to say for me, I thought it was a long walk to the boat to go over to Magic Kingdom.
The dock looks surprisingly close, but you got to make like an L-shaped. It's like a dogleg turn, right?
Yeah, you got to walk through the pool, not through it, but around the pool, and make your way. Kind of, after the first time, you kind of get the path down pat. But in comparison to the villas, though, obviously much closer. Because with the villas, you're another building away.
Yeah.
Now, Matt, it should be said that we're not complaining. I mean, people.
Oh no,
We're gonna listen to us thinking, they're so privileged and they're staying in a nice place and they're complaining about it. We're not. It's not really complaints. It's just
no. We're giving you just some
observations.
negatives.
Right? Exactly. Like I said, I was.
Here's a negative.
We're not complaining. We're just
Speaking of negatives,
Here's a big negative. I was going to say, when it's 30 degrees outside, that boat ride back.
Here's a list of things that I don't like about you.
No, seriously, that's one thing to consider. The boat ride back, very cold.
I will say also I wanted to give a shout out. I don't remember her name. A cast member. We were the three of us and Becky Menken of MEA Mouse Pit Travel. We were looking for dinner one night. And we said, "Ooh, let's go grab something to eat." We were going to go to Roaring Forks, which is the counter service restaurant. But then we said, you know what? Maybe we can go to the bar, which is right next to I forget the bar's name. It's right next to Artist Point, and order off the menu over there so we could have a quicker meal. And we went over there and she said, "No, you can't do that." But to her credit, she was like, "Why don't you guys sit down and let me see if I can do that?" And we sat down, and she promptly came back out with the menus, and she freely admitted she had never done this before, but she did a great job, I thought. And that was a really cool little magical experience. Is that she, even though they're not supposed to, but they don't do that normally, she was able to take care of us a little bit. So that was nice.
And can I just say,
Actually, I went back one night and got some flatbread pizza in there, which actually is on the menu for the bar.
Yeah, they have like a small little menu, not the full menu.
Right, but that was really, really good. And she remembered me from that group and wanted to know where everybody else was. And, she was really, really, really great. So I wish we could remember her name.
I want to say her name was Emily, but I don't know.
See, I was going to say Emma or Emily. So
She's very nice.
And we saw her again the last night, me and Annette stopped there before we were done for the reunion. It was like the end of the reunion. Like, all right, the reunion toast, and that's it. Reunion is done.
yeah.
I stayed at the magical All-Star Resorts.
Ah, yes. Now,
Oh yes, what a difference.
before we even get to your thoughts on the resort, Len, did you have your romantic stroll at All Star with Annette?
We didn't
Not with me.
actually. No, we're gonna have
She
to.
stood you up.
I know. It's all Annette's fault.
No, it was a little cold. Don't you think it's hard to have a romantic walk when it's 32, 39?
Len, I think this is the point where you start singing "Quit Playing Games with My Heart"
Exactly.
at this point.
Exactly. It was. I mean, it just would have meant that we could have held hands or
Oh.
closer.
Aw, yeah. I'm sorry.
So other than
Through the
that
gloves and the
reminds me-
scarves, the coat, and
That reminds me. I brought a puppy dog. I think I have to get him out of the box now. Oh, never mind.
oops.
so other than destroying your self-esteem and ego and everything, what were your thoughts on the All Star resorts, Len?
The resorts were fine actually. I think they've improved the mattresses. I think they're going to all pillow top mattresses now. My bed was really comfortable. The pillows were foam though, and foam pillows, as we know, are the mark of the beast. Really, they're the work of Satan.
Really?
The,
It says 666 on the bottom of them.
exactly. So in fact, the UPC code on the tag was actually just a bunch of sixes. It was really strange. But the mattresses were great. The room was quiet. It was a second floor of the Mighty Ducks in movies, which was odd because we got to music, and I guess there was an overflow thing there, so they kicked us out to movies. But the funny thing was there were three of us originally on the reservation, and I had asked for one king bed, so for three
Wow.
people, three adults.
Hey now.
Yeah. Well, so here's why I did it.
Please carry on, Len.
We're all sensitive people with lots of love to give. That's all I'm saying. The reason why I did three adults was because free dining was there, and me being cynical. You could just play that the entire show. That's fine with me. Cynically, what I was thinking was this: even if I don't have three people in the room, I'd get three extra dining credits per day for the two people who were in the room. So over time, I could have more meals. And it's only $15 a day to add another adult to the room.
Which is cheaper than the
Cheaper than
per
food.
day for.
It's cheaper than food,
Yeah.
right? $15. So I had a third adult, even though the third adult was never going to stay in the room. So, but here's the thing, though. We had 4 nights, 3 people, so I had 12 of each meal. On the with like 6 hours left in the vacation, we still had like 12 table service meals to eat. It was hysterical. It was so much food on the dining plan that I did not eat a single table service meal while I was there. Every morning I got up. You guys have been on the dining plan before, right?
Yeah.
Dude,
Way too much food. Yep.
dude, it's just wrong. So I normally had a counter service meal every morning for breakfast. That was scrambled eggs, potatoes, bacon, sausage, a biscuit, a full-size pastry, and a drink.
Did you go running after that? Just asking.
Yeah, I did actually. I ran. Yeah. So there were 8 things actually. So there was scrambled eggs, sausage, bacon. Oh, and a Mickey waffle.
I know.
8 things for breakfast.
I'm starving.
I'm serious.
Where were you during reunion? You could have helped him out.
All-Star. But I'm saying, you ate 8 things for breakfast, right? You could do that the first day, right? But I didn't eat lunch. And then by dinner, I'm like, I had a snack. I had a snacky something, and then that was it. That was it for the entire day. That was all of the food I wanted for the day. Then I actually didn't eat the pastry the first day because I knew it was too much food. So I had 2 snacks. I had 1 snack when I came back. And really, that was it. I mean, I had something light for dinner. I don't even remember what. Oh, we had dessert. We did desserts for dinner. That was it. The second day, I did exactly the same thing. So by the third day, I'm like, dude, we've got 12 table service credits left. We've got 2 days. We got to start taking people out to dinner. So finally, I think on the last day of the trip, Henry took like 8 people out to dinner at Yachtsman. to use all the table service credits.
Wait,
I see
missed
what
the
Henry thinks
invite.
of me.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Henry.
Wait a minute.
All I got was a shirt.
Oh, you guys didn't get the call? Maybe he doesn't have your cell phone number.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Yeah, he probably does actually.
You know what's interesting? What's interesting,
Yeah,
Len?
this is awkward. Yeah, I'm sorry, Matt. You're fading in and out. What?
I was going to say the interesting thing. You mentioned that you got bumped from All Star to All Star movies, and there was a lot of that going on. I heard from a lot of people at Reunion that were booked at All Star. I don't know what happened. Like they just overbooked the resort completely.
no.
But people were getting booked. Were getting bumped. They would check in and the room wasn't ready, and it would get to the point where even beyond 4 o'clock the room wasn't ready, and they were getting bumped to the other All Star resorts, to Pop Century. Some people got bumped to Coronado Springs, and I know one person got bumped to Boardwalk Resort. I forgot who it was.
What they were doing-
I would name drop, but
What they were doing was Thanksgiving weekend, Pop Warner weekend, and not that we only had 20 people or so, but they decided to do computer upgrade.
Yeah. It started on the Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Every Wednesday they're doing computer upgrades.
And it knocked down the whole entire system. So what happened was, like our friend Janine checked it. Well, they didn't have a room for her the first night because the computer was down. Okay, so they scramble her a room. She gets a room. Now she's supposed to be there for the week. Well, the next morning they're like, okay, you got to leave, and we don't have any place for you to stay.
it's unbelievable.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was kind of confusing with everything was down. They said that, you may lose your dining reservations. You may have trouble buying merchandise. It just was a massive computer upgrade.
And just computer upgrade has been going on for about 3 or 4 weeks now. They're gradually adding on several resorts every time they bring it down. So this isn't the first time that this happened.
And my question is,
Wow.
So
why
you'd think they'd have a better plan.
why isn't this done in January when it's like really, really slow? Like, why is it done between Thanksgiving and Christmas when it's,
When all the marathoner people are checking in?
well,
Now, after that week,
After- yeah.
Bill's got a good point. If they did it the second, third,
Yeah.
with the exception of Marathon Weekend and Martin Luther King Weekend, there's no one at Walt Disney World that month. But
it just was bad
I hear you,
timing.
Mike.
It was bad timing. I mean, the company I work for does that too, so they just was bad timing.
Other than that, I think the reunion itself was a lot of fun. The dining plan thing was crazy, but
Well, reunion and dining doesn't really go together anyway, does it?
no, too many.
It's kind of hard to make table service reservations anyway.
Right.
Because there's so many
Yeah.
impromptu, let's all go ride this, let's go do that. And the next thing you know, you're not.
I
at your
tried, and
dinner.
then I tried, but I was just too tired to go. I was trying to go to Fulton's, one of the restaurants that I've never been to. But then I'd rather go back to the hotel and take a nap.
for a reunion, I stayed offsite. I stayed with Fred Hazelton, who's the master statistician at touringplans.com. We stayed at the Orange Lake Country Club Resort, which is on West 192. It's really close to Animal Kingdom, in fact, and it's a timeshare that my folks own at, and I was able to take advantage of that. We stayed in a 2-bedroom unit, and I love Orange Lake. I've been going there for many years. It's the old Key West for me, as to if Old Key West is to Mike Newell, then Orange Lake is to me. And very nice, huge unit. Len, the beds over there are amazing. I don't know about you, but I love a hard bed. And
Do you really?
Yeah, it's real.
Oh my gosh.
Nice. Oh, it felt so good.
A hard bed, really?
Yeah, I would much rather have a hard bed than like one of those soft
Most
beds.
people are asking for pillow tops. He's going, give me that rock.
That's I'd like some plywood. Yeah, I'd like to sleep on a box spring.
I want support, darn it.
Sleep on the floor.
All right, that's a little too much support.
No wonder why he came up with a tent event idea. Sleep on the ground.
awesome.
But I really, I slept wonderfully over there, and the units were very nice. The only problem was they had these old, they still actually have old CRT TVs, the tube TVs, and literally the TV in the living room you had to warm up. Do you remember how you warm up a TV?
Yeah.
You had to keep turning it on and off until it would the tube would warm up and the picture would come back. It was really weird because at first I was like, it's not working, and then it was like, oh, I just kept on hitting the button and it would actually warm up. I was like, that's like the equivalent. That made me feel like blowing into the NES cartridges on Nintendo.
Oh, I hated doing that.
Remember that? That's like what it reminded me of. I was like, wow, I haven't done this in when was the last time you had to warm up a TV?
That's nice.
Yeah, but resort was nice,
I
very
have
close
that
to property.
TV.
I recommend it highly. It's great amenities. They have a wonderful pool. It's called River Island, and they have it's a lazy river that's built into their main pool. It's really, really nice.
How's the kitchen?
Kitchen was nice. It's it got the main components: stove, dishes, washing, but not a washing machine, but like
In
a
the
dishwasher
kitchen?
in the kitchen, a dishwasher.
Okay.
Did you ever
nice
actually
thing.
see Fred?
What's that?
Did you ever actually see Fred?
Yeah, it's funny. I was staying with Fred, and he got in like really late Wednesday night because he was really badly delayed. I don't think I saw him until Friday, until the touring plans meet.
Wow.
Our schedules never meshed. It was the weirdest thing in the world. We both stayed in the same resort, but I was always gone, earlier in the morning, and they were sleeping in, so we just never saw each other until
That's
Friday. But it was really weird. But yeah, other than that, I quite enjoyed it, so I would recommend.
How long
that.
of a drive is it?
If you're going to Animal Kingdom, it's literally a 10-minute
skip and
drive.
jump.
It's like 3 lights. Because you take the Sherbeth Road shortcut,
Oh yeah.
and you're right over there. I would say
3 lights. So you stop at what, like 1 or 2 of those?
Yeah, I mean, if
lights?
you hit 1 light, you're fine. You know what I mean? You probably had 1 red light, and then that's it. You're right there.
I almost had somebody try and give me directions somewhere in town here in Greensboro by referencing red lights, and my question was, what if the light isn't red? And it just completely stumped them. Anyway,
Does not compute.
yeah, exactly. With 3 red lights, what if the light isn't red? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I think that's it. That's everyone's resort stay, right? Any other thoughts on where you guys stayed at and what your thoughts were on the resorts in general?
I think I might try staying somewhere different for Marathon coming up. I'm thinking about staying at Coronado Springs. Has anyone stayed at the concierge level rooms there, the club level rooms?
And you stayed there before it was concierge officially, right?
Right. They had not opened that area up yet.
Yeah, the room was
So-
set up. It just wasn't like the services or whatever.
Right. There's no service lounge was open. That was down. So, but I have to say, I love the new changes they've done at Coronado Springs with the queen beds and the room. The room just has a better feel to it. I did learn while we were down at Reunion that they're getting ready to put queen beds over at Riverside. So I'm very excited about that. Very excited about that.
Yeah,
it's
me
about
too.
time to start putting queen beds in moderate resorts.
Amen, sister.
Instead of the full bed.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. I want to remind all of our listeners that this episode of WDW Today has been sponsored by All Star Vacation Homes. And if you're looking for great amenities and where you're going to be staying, there's no question about it. All Star Vacation Homes has got everything you're going to need. I love staying there. Every time I stay there, I love the different amenities you find, from the wonderful beds, great showers. The showers are huge in those rooms. Movie theater, game room, private pool. These are the typical amenities you'll find at an All-Star Vacation home. So go check them out online. Go to www.allstarvacationhomes.com. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, you can visit us online at wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, Mike Newell, and the fabulous Annette Owens, I'm Matt Hotchberg. We'll see you on the next show.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.